Lord God, thank you for this opportunity to honor an incredible young man whose commitment to our country and to help others and to keep us safe goes far beyond any words I could share. My experience is just so different than the experience of this family in the service. But I thank you that you give us opportunity to be with friends and family and to rub hearts and to cry a little and maybe seek for some different kind of answers. So we trust Tommy to you. We know that he's in good hands. But I also know that there are some broken hearts here. And I pray that you would help us all hug each other and love up on each other, and that your love would be victorious over anything crazy in this world. So bless our time, keep us safe as we go from here. Thank you for being here.
On behalf of the President of the United States Navy, and a truly grateful nation, please accept this flag on behalf of your son's honorable and faithful service. To him we say fair winds and following seas, that we cannot be successful in our civilian life or our military life without the love and support of our family and friends. We thank you all for being that for our fallen shipmate. We pray you have a blessed rest of your service, and we thank you once again for allowing us to honor your son.
I would like to present you these bullets on behalf of your family members' honor. Spirits. And the commitment he has shown not only to his country, but to his family and himself.
On behalf of the 3-Star Mothers of America and Allied Valley 2-Star Mothers Chapter 14, we would like to honor you, the mother and father of AWV2 Thomas Valenzuela, with a Gold Star banner. As parents of sons and daughters serving the military, we want you to know that we are thankful and extremely proud of your son for his dedication, willingness, and love he showed for his country. As his parents, you cherished your son so deeply, we know we will remain forever in your heart and in your memories. To all of us gathered here today, may he be a constant reminder of how truly valuable our freedom is. May this Gold Star banner be a proud remembrance to you, your family, and to all of us for your very brave son, we would like you to know we will forever hold him in our hearts and in our prayers, and may God rest his soul in peace. On behalf of the Blue Star Mothers of America, we present to you this Gold Star banner for your loss and sacrifice for our country.
We lost him too soon. We just saw him in November in Germany. He came to visit, took his leave after his deployment. He was a happy guy. Everything seemed to be going really, really well. As you can see by his video, he loved his mom. He's a big old mama's boy. But he loved his job. It was a love-hate relationship. All my brothers can attest. We love whatever branch we're in, and we hate it at the same time, but nobody can talk about it. It's just the way we are. So, he loved his job. He loved everything about his job. And in November we were talking. He told me that, because I'm deployed a lot, that now he understands, and that his happiness is 30,000 feet, fat, dumb, and happy, sitting in the back of his P3, finding bad guys and doing bad things to him, which I understand. We're always happy at Angels 30. We're safe and sound, but we're bringing the fight. So his happy place is at 30,000 feet over a bad layer. His sister, both of them idoled him and loved him and looked after him. I wanted to be like him. One's in the Navy, one's in the Air Force. He had the greatest job in the world, and then his sister became a gunship worker, and he was jealous and he wanted to be working on gunships. We came, unfortunately, 12 months ago because my dad passed, their papa, and our daughter gave us the gracious tour of her boat. We all looked at each other. My brother Nick was there, and we all said, "There's no way in hell we could do this." So the real service member is Gabby. She lives a very austere lifestyle on that boat. But he's touched everybody. He's touched a lot of us. He's always happy. He was always willing to help. He loved his bonfires. That was his thing. When he was younger, we were on a big mancation. And he got to run around. He got to learn the difference of the woods, because certain woods you can have and you can just burn, and certain woods you can have and burn, but you can make s'mores and hot dogs. And we didn't know that because, all of us were just about burning fire. But our brother Bone, he knew. He taught all the kids, and the kids learned. And Tommy made sure that all the kids had the right wood. So they're running around collecting wood. He's a big old kid making this huge bonfire. The only thing I think is that's where Tommy got his love for bonfires. The bigger the better, the hotter the better. Just let it go all night. And that's where he was happy. We were all happy there. Came back off of deployment. His mom built us a big old fire pit in our backyard so we could celebrate the bonfires. He loved to read. Reading was his thing. We were just reminiscing with some old friends when we were stationed in Germany about Tommy reading all the books in the library, and they had to take him to the high school's library to let him read other books. One of the most memorable things for us is while in Germany, President Bush came to visit. They shut down most of Wiesbaden, and the First Lady presented him with a plaque and a handwritten note for reading the most books in the school. He was dedicated to read. He really, really took to the World War II era and everything about it. We were on a family vacation to Bastogne. He was 9 years old, talking to 2 World War II veterans for about 2.5 hours. And one of the veterans came over and said, "Dad, you did a good job." I said, "I can't take credit. he did all that on his own. He learned it from the books he reads. He learned it from studying, because that was his niche. But he can argue with anybody. Teachers, been called to school for that. Wonderful time to be called to school for your kid learning. And he loved his mom, loved to hang out with his mom. You know, I'd give him a hard time, say he was mom's boy, but they had a special bond. It'll never be broken. He would tell her everything. And I was very proud of him for that. He was my ride or die, and he did really, really well. I loved hearing about his adventures. I give him a hard time because, you know, I've never been on a deployment and lived in a hotel and had a rental car and got to have a drink after. But, you know, some of us have a better life than others. And, you know, now I see my daughter who's on deployment, and it's not the best of conditions, and it wasn't the happiest moments for mom and dad to hear what she's going through. So, I don't know what else to say about the kid. He was a good kid. Even as a baby, he was a good kid. I loved him to death. Even though we had our differences about some things, at the end of the day, we could sit down, and we could talk, and we'd see eye to eye. And he told me that, why can't the rest of the world do that? It'd be a much better world. So, I know he loved all of his uncles. He learned something from every one of you. He loved his family. He was happy to be around them. He liked to keep to himself. He liked to figure out his own problems and solutions, which is pretty admirable in today's society. I know I'm gonna miss him tremendously. I have good days, bad days. I have good minutes, I have bad minutes. It's just what we're going through right now. You want to say anything?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm a CTR2, also known as the baby Val. You know, I'm the youngest. He was really the one that showed me that military was the way to go. Just because you're away from family doesn't mean that you're fully away from family, because you make your own family. And he was there to show me, he was there to be my big brother and hold my hand through anything. When I showed him my ship, and he was like, Gabby, I don't know how you can do this. He said, it's super rough on me just going through because I'm hitting my head on everything. But he was super proud of me. And he was super proud of Abby, and he was just glad that we kind of found our own way while following our dad's footsteps.
Whatever you want. We all thank you. Our whole family thanks you for coming. You all were part of his life. He was part of your life. Hopefully it was a good part. If it wasn't, you could take a number and stand in line. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. He left way too early. Just way too early.
I'm Nick Barrera, Tommy's brother in arms. So, I really didn't have an opportunity to fully grasp everything and put notes together and decide what I want to say. And my wife knows that a lot of times I'll just riff things, you know, speak from the hip. But as I was talking to one of my other brothers, I wanted to make some notes, and, you know, to be honest, he did them for me. Because that's who he is for us. So we talked, and we wanted to say that we want to thank you, Michelle and Tommy, for bringing your kids into this world and raising them in the way you did. You brought them in and gave them a caring heart, and you gave them independence, and you gave them strength. Your children have gone out to the world, and they've shared that strength and independence. They've helped people throughout this world. Everywhere they have gone, they've touched hearts, and they've brought love, and they've brought peace. When we had our mancation, a very fortunate moment in time, Roger and I talked about it, and we were like, wow, we were so impressed with little Tommy and how he corralled the kids and watched them, and we could see, you know, from our perspective, prior military, saying, man, he's a leader. That boy's responsible. You know, he is someone to be proud of. He's going to go great places. He's going to do great things. And we were never disappointed as his uncles. Myself and Roger and Pat, we always kept in touch. We have a group text that we're constantly communicating with Tommy. No matter where we're at in the world, we're always in communication. And we always keep in touch and find out what the kids are doing, where they're at, and how proud Tommy is of what they do. We may never understand why this happened. We are all going to want to know, and we want to have closure in our hearts. But what we do know for a fact is that boy loved his mom, and that boy loved his dad, and that boy loved his sisters. And everything he did to make them proud. Everything he did to honor them at all times. Whether he wanted to admit it or not, he did grow up to be like his dad. Strong, independent man. Of course, he didn't want to be in his dad's shadow. That's why he went into the Navy instead of the Army. And his Army uncles loved him anyway. It's a choice we had to make. Bad decisions or not. But they built a strong family unit. They built something that will stand the test of time. And even though Tommy is gone too soon, his strength, his love, his memories, they'll always be in your hearts, in your minds, and we'll always have them. We'll always be able to share with you. Abby Gabby, he was so proud of you. The moments I got a chance to speak to him, he would like to tease his sisters, of course, because, you know, he's the master of all things. And his sisters had to bow to him because of that. But we know that that love will always be there, and you will always carry your big brother. Tommy and Michelle, there is no words that could ever truly heal this. But we love you, and your family with us is always going to be there. Your family here, who I've had the privilege of all my life being part of, is a rock. And they always have their arms around you. I had the privilege of meeting your dad when I was little, and I say little because we've known each other since we were 19 years old. I'm 53. It's a long time ago. It's a lot of fingers. So we kind of grew up as brothers and promised each other that we would always remain so. And we have. And we've gotten our wives now, and our families are larger, and now we all connect together. And you have us all. So trust me, you have someone to turn to when you feel those dark times, those dark moments, those dark minutes. We understand. We're there with you. We love you.